Level 1. The Business Analyst. The client pays $4 million. You make $112,000. That is not a mistake. That is the model. You are 22. 10,000 people applied to McKinsey this year. 200 received offers. You are one of them. By month 18, 4 from your class will be asked to consider other opportunities. This is not posted anywhere. Sunday evening. Terminal B. Carry on. Seat 14A. The city is Detroit, or Stuttgart, or Seoul. The hotel is a Marriott, breakfast included. You will not eat it. You will be in a conference room by 7:30 a.m. Your job is to build the deck. Slide 31. Framework, page 3. 11 hours on one slide. The color coding is exact. The font is Helvetica Neue. 11 point. McKinsey has used it for 30 years. You did not choose it. You will not change it. The client presents this deck to their board on Thursday. You will not be in the room. McKinsey's name is on the cover. Your name is not on any slide. $112,000. The most money you have ever earned. McKinsey bills this client $500,000 a month for your team. You think about this for approximately 4 minutes. Then you open the deck. Week 1 becomes month 3. Month 3 becomes month 8. Month 8 is your first performance review. Performs above expectations. You do not know what below expectations looks like here. You are not curious enough to find out. You are where Pete Buttigieg was at 24. Making slides in a hotel room in Detroit. He had something else in mind. You do not yet. The protected weekend is real on paper. On a Friday, at 10:47 p.m., you open your laptop. This is not unusual. This is Tuesday, for the person who trained you. 69 hours a week. The work is genuinely interesting. That is not a metaphor. That is how they keep you. Your name is not on the deck. McKinsey's is. You built it. The distinction will bother you for approximately 6 more months. Level 2. The Consultant. You left for 2 years. MBA. $200,000 in debt. You return with a new title and a $30,000 signing bonus. Base. $192,000. Total compensation. $262,000. You are 27. The coffee machine is in the same place. The deck format has not changed. You are where Sheryl Sandberg was at 28. Consultant. The COO title did not exist yet for her. It does not exist yet for you either. Your first solo client presentation. The CFO has 30 years in the industry. You have 5 months and a framework someone else built. He pushes back on slide 4. You defend it. Not because you believe in it completely, because you are the one in the room, and that is what the room requires. Your mother tells people you are a consultant. She means it as a compliment. You are not sure anymore. 3 weeks before the final presentation, you already know the recommendation. 400 roles will be eliminated. The client does not know yet. You cannot say it yet. Not because it is classified. Because the timing is the product. The delivery sequence is what they are paying for. You learn to carry 2 things at once. What you know and what you are allowed to say. The distance between those 2 things is also billable. Your visa has 4 stamps in 3 months. Your apartment has a cleaning service you have not been home to use. A friend invites you to a wedding in June. You say yes. The engagement extends into July. You send a gift. The engagement ends on a Friday. The final deck is clean. The CFO thanks you for your professionalism. You fly home Saturday morning. On the following Thursday, 400 people receive letters. You are already on the next flight. This is not cruelty. This is the structure. Understanding the difference between those 2 things is part of year 2. Of your consultant class, 40% will reach engagement manager. This is not discussed at orientation. It is understood by the end of month 2. Level 3, the engagement manager. You survived. Most of your class did not make it this far. Not fired, redirected. The language at McKinsey is always precise about that distinction. You are 32. 8 people report to you. They are 27. They remind you of yourself 5 years ago, slightly more anxious. You were slightly more anxious than you now remember. You are where Jeff Immelt was before GE called. Managing. Not yet leading. You do not build decks anymore. You review them. At 11 p.m., hotel room, Stuttgart. Your initials are in the footer now, next to McKinsey's name. In that order. Someone from your analyst class left in year 3. They run a software company in Austin. $15 million revenue last year. McKinsey did an engagement for one of their competitors last quarter. Nobody called them. You heard this secondhand. You do not have their number anymore. Performs above expectations. 3 consecutive reviews. The 4th uses different language. Partnership track. 2 words. No elaboration offered. You do not ask for any. You have been watching who receives those 2 words and who does not for 5 years. McKinsey has a phrase for what you do at this level. Structured problem solving. What it means in practice. You know the answer in week 2. You have 10 more weeks to build the evidence that makes the client feel like they arrived there themselves. That is the product, not the finding. The feeling of having been guided to the obvious thing without knowing you were guided. The client wants to soften the finding, not because you are wrong, because his board will push back on the number. You adjust the framing, you document the rationale, you bill him for the revision. You fly home Sunday, you are very good at this job. You have 3 years at this level, everyone knows this, nobody says it. The machine does not stop, it just reframes the question. Level 4, the associate partner. You are 37, you started at 22. The deck format has not changed, the footer has. You are where Louis Gerstner was before IBM called, selling, every quarter. $450,000 in total compensation. The number has stopped feeling like a fact about you. It feels like a position you currently hold. You have flown on a Sunday 614 times. You counted once. You stopped counting. The evaluation model has changed. Quality of work is assumed here. What is measured now is book of business. How much revenue you generate. Not deliver. Generate. This distinction will determine the next 10 years of your life at the firm. A partner asks, "What is your number this year?" You understand this is not a question about performance reviews. You give a number. He says nothing. You revise it upward. This is also called partnership. Goldman Sachs offers $650,000 base. You sit with the offer for 48 hours, then you decline. You are not entirely sure if that was conviction or gravity. You decide it was conviction. That is easier to live with. There is a partner who was where you are 2 years ago. He made it. He works 70 hours a week and earns $1.1 million and has a house in Greenwich and does not look like someone who chose this freely. You observe this. You do not mention it. Someone from your associate class is teaching business strategy at a university in Copenhagen. You think about this on a Sunday morning before your flight. Then you close the thought. The car is waiting. Of the 200 who entered your analyst class globally, 12 are now associate partners. The path ahead is narrower than this sentence. Level 5, the partner. You are 43. The CEO calls you directly, not McKinsey, you. You are the product now. You are where James McNerney was before Boeing called, partner. Book of business. Name on the cover. Of the 200 who entered your analyst class globally, 3 are partners. You are one of them. There is no announcement. There is a different calendar invite. That is how you know. Strong year, $1.2 million. Off year, $700,000. You stopped checking monthly around year 2 at this level. The number stopped feeling urgent. This is either success or numbness. You have stopped asking which. You fly business class. You have since 2019. Your calendar is booked 6 weeks out. 2 teams running 2 engagements. You have not read either deck this week. Your name is on both. A business analyst asks you how to make partner. You say exactly what someone said to you at 27. You are not certain it is still accurate. You say it anyway. Your daughter calls on a Wednesday. You are in a client dinner. You text back in 9 minutes. This is faster than you responded at 32. You take this as a form of progress. The deck goes out with your name on the cover. Sometimes you are not in the room when they open it. That is the point now. You are not someone who makes decks. You are the reason there is a deck. Level 6, the senior partner. A government calls, not a corporation, a government. You represent the firm in that room. You are where Rajat Gupta was at 48. Senior partner, global reach. His next chapter ended in a federal courtroom. Yours is still being written. $2 to $4 million per year. Depending on the year, depending on the client, depending on things that cannot be predicted in January. You do not pitch anymore. Clients call you. There is a difference between those two sentences. It takes 20 years to understand it. You no longer need to explain it. Someone introduces you at a conference as from McKinsey. You left 3 years ago. You will always be from McKinsey. This is not a complaint. It is a classification. Your name appears in a deck you have never read, presented in a room you have never entered. The recommendation is sound. You can tell because nobody called to explain it. There are people in your network who became CEOs. Some call you, some do not. The ones who call have a problem. The ones who do not have already solved it somewhere else. You are not sure which group represents the better outcome. Level 7, the managing partner. You do not manage clients. You manage the firm that manages clients. You are where Marvin Bower was when he decided McKinsey would never be called a business, only a profession. That word still appears in the first slide of every new engagement. He put it there 60 years ago. You did not change it. The firm has 45,000 people. You do not know most of their names. They know yours. A government restructures its public sector. The press attributes part of the outcome to McKinsey advice. A reporter calls. You say, "No comment." That is also a form of answer. In 100 years, McKinsey has had 9 managing partners. Marvin Bower, Ron Daniel, Fred Gluck, Rajat Gupta, Ian Davis, Dominic Barton, Kevin Sneeder, Bob Sternfels, and now you. The list fits in a paragraph. The firm does not fit in a building. The firm will continue after this sentence ends. Now you know why people keep taking the job anyway. It was never about the money. It was about the name. And the name outlasts everyone. The cycle. A business analyst, 22 years old. Sunday evening, Terminal B. Carry on. Seat, 14. A client city you have flown to 600 times. Their first time. Slide 31. Framework page 3. McKinsey's name on the cover. Their name. Nowhere. Not yet. The model has not changed. It does not need to. There are always 200 people willing to be one of the 200. The recommendation does not change between year 1 and year 50. Only the size of the room that receives it. The deck is already written. It always was.